Why does the search for the origins of Bitcoin and its still mysterious creator Satoshi Nakamoto even matter? It is the completely unprecedented nature of its emergence, seemingly out of nowhere, and the global significance of the particular case of Bitcoin. Whether intentionally or just for meticulously safeguarding his civil identity, Satoshi Nakamoto seeded a powerful origin myth, a magic force well known for residing at the very heart of successful nation building and belief systems. One essential constituent of its underlying narrative is that Satoshi Nakamoto represents the only significant inventor in the entire history of science and technology who deliberately stayed pseudonymous. The other component of Bitcoin's infatuating creation lore is that he ostensibly volunteered to relinquish his tremendous socio-political and economical impact as the undisputed leader of the world's first cryptocurrency, as well as his mind-boggling wealth ranging on the order of 100 billion US dollars. He closed his chapter of Satoshi Nakamoto with his widely unexpected, rather unglamorous, and likely strategically planned retirement of his alias in spring 2011, obscurely divulging to have moved on to other things. Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin project took an unparalleled path of demure beginnings quasi out of thin air and its meteoric rise to become a financial unicorn. He most likely developed and bootstrapped his pioneering technology single-handedly, meaning without team support, corporate structure, or venture capital, and prudently formed a small early adopter community. Only about a decade later, his pioneering P2P ecosystem has grown into a serious challenger to the financial system. As of mid-2025, Bitcoin reached a total market cap beyond $2 trillion US. In addition, Satoshi Nakamoto's Moonshot initiative provided a fertile breeding ground for digital innovation. First, Bitcoin equipped the internet with a much-needed intrinsic value layer. Furthermore, in the extended aftermath of its official launch in 2009, Bitcoin's game-changing technology spawned a zoo of other blockchains which enabled, for instance, complex smart contracts as well as cheap and fast cross-border transactions. With these developments, decentralized finance emerged, a serious P2P alternative to the traditional banking system. Finally, also the revolutionary concept of asset tokenization is based on Satoshi Nakamoto's masterpiece, leading to blockchain-run 24/7 markets for trading non-fungible tokens, such as digital artwork, real-world assets, such as property, private equity, stocks, and stablecoins, which are pegged against fiat money, such as the US dollar. An irresistibly fascinating human aspect regarding the still unidentified creator of Bitcoin. He evidently skillfully crafted and diligently enacted a purely virtual online persona without a biography, which has become a living legend while subliminally deemed a deceased historical person. He must have nerves of steel to stay long-term silent even in periods of potentially devastating, fiercely fought community spats. The architect of the world's first cryptocurrency boasts a remarkable profile combining outstanding ingenuity and mindset with an ostensible altruism, a one in a billion character which appears to defy human nature. There are frequently speculated but unlikely scenarios that Satoshi Nakamoto was a construct, for instance, a single-purpose human asset set up by an intelligence agency, or a cabal, for example, formed by a cypherpunk-affine interest group. Let's now zoom in on the unique case of Satoshi Nakamoto's disruptive product Bitcoin. The foundational pillars of its underlying blockchain engine rely on the interplay of four cornerstones. In terms of physics, primary energy is converted into electricity to power speedy high-performance computer chips at the heart of Bitcoin's security. The distribution schedule of Bitcoin's reward system relies on a deterministically convergent mathematical series to algorithmically guarantee an irrefutably capped total supply and hence digital scarcity of its BTC tokens as the critical element underpinning its value-finding process as a trustful, deflationary virtual currency. Cryptography provides the methods of hashing and digital signatures, which are at the core of mining as part of Bitcoin's Nakamoto consensus, addresses, and transactions. Another, Often understated ingredient of Bitcoin's value proposition constitutes its decentralization through its peer-to-peer fabric, which eliminates the risk of a central point of attack as well as regulatory control and possible takedown. This was the main reason of failure for preceding eCash and file-sharing systems of the 1990s and the initial part of the 2000s. Efficient decentralization requires adoption by critical mass and diversity of network users. System security independent of a trusted third party relies on Satoshi Nakamoto's revolutionary blockchain concept. Here, Bitcoin addresses and transactions are locked on a public read-write ledger file, which is identically shared between all peer-to-peer nodes. The network can be flexibly joined and left by anyone with an internet connection who operates compatible software. As part of his inaugural release in January 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto made an open-source client available for free download. The integrity of Bitcoin's distributed matcha file is assured by the Nakamoto consensus. A so-called Coinbase transaction goes to the fastest miner to solve a cryptographic puzzle in a computational, brute force manner, and the corresponding block of transactions is verified and amended in feedback loop controlled 10-minute intervals to the blockchain. Other nodes accept the so-generated longest chains as the valid one. As it is economically unfavorable to rewrite this proof-of-work chain without expensive control of the majority of the network hash rate, detrimental double spending of coins is practically eliminated. In absence of a formal organizational structure, Satoshi Nakamoto initially referred to Bitcoin's chiefless governance principle as one CPU, one vote. Amazingly, the network thus operates entirely without formal incorporation as a legal entity, leadership and organizational structure, revenues, budget for operations and marketing, or proprietary software and patent portfolio. The value of its BTC tokens is freely floating on a pure supply and demand basis. It is not tethered to fiat money or commodities like gold. For the real-world impact of Satoshi Nakamoto's Bitcoin on a quantitative level, let's compare its total market capitalization with common economic and monetary benchmarks based on mid-2025 data. Regarding the total stock value of the foremost public companies at global scale, Bitcoin is way ahead of the behemoths of traditional business Saudi Aramco and already resides within the range of the big six of tech or Mang, just above Meta with its Facebook, near Alphabet with its Google, and Amazon. The dominant cryptocurrency is still trailing the overall leader Nvidia by a factor of about 1.5. With respect to commodities, Bitcoin is positioned slightly above silver and scores at about a tenth of the total value of worldwide gold assets. In terms of M2 money supply of conventional fiat currency, Bitcoin has already clearly surpassed the Swiss franc and the Russian ruble. It is about on par with the Australian dollar and is expected to inch in on the nearby Taiwanese dollar, the Brazilian real, and the Hong Kong dollar. Let's look how Satoshi Nakamoto would be faring with his estimated holdings slightly north of 1 million Bitcoin among the elite circle of the world's billionaires, according to Forbes magazine. The Forbes list is dominated by celebrity billionaires in big tech, with select entries from investment, luxury goods, fashion, and retail empires. Assuming a Bitcoin value of $115,000, which is near its all-time high as of August 25, Satoshi Nakamoto would already pertain to the prestigious global top 10. So Satoshi Nakamoto would crash this exclusive clique if it was not that Forbes magazine does not consider pseudonymously owned crypto assets. So in addition to a merely curiosity-driven, essentially mood research effort, shedding light on the unparalleled story of Bitcoin and its mysterious mastermind bears real-world impact as a disruptive financial technology providing a novel, completely unexpected, multi-trillion-dollar asset class without a trusted third party, an unprecedented chiefless unicorn whose creation is shrouded by an infatuating origin myth. Satoshi Nakamoto is also assumed to still hold roughly 1 million Bitcoin, worth about $100 billion as of mid-2025, which would evidently shatter markets, whether transacted on-chain or even moved to exchanges. This video presents an excerpt from my comprehensive, No Stone Left Unturned investigation, Satoshi Nakamoto and the Origins of Bitcoin. The book is available in various electronic and print formats on Amazon and Shopify under the displayed links.